I love that. I love that intro. Welcome to another episode of the Sandman and Pile Show. I'm one of your co-hosts, Pile. Sandman, how you doing, buddy?
Good, good. Good afternoon, Colonel. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah,
Um,
tonight we have a very special episode of the Sandman and Pile Show. It is strictly related to the Ton Legacy Foundation, and this guy up here is my friend. I've known for God, about a year now. Yeah, since he made me a ton militia commander of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, last year. He is a board member. He's a president. He's all kinds of things. His name is Colonel Ken Chopper Hopper. It is a pleasure and an honor to have you, sir. Would you please introduce yourself to our listeners tonight?
Um, Full name that's on my DD 214 is Paul K. Hopper. I am a 30-year Marine, a
Or
naval a naval aviator by trade, uh, with about 7 or so combat deployments under my belt. Um, Started out in aviation, pretty much flew KC-130 Battle Hawks. Uh, I was fortunate to see that platform change from when first flew my first co-pilot flight to what they were doing in Afghanistan and Iraq. Um, Squadron level positions, Marine Air Group positions, wing positions, um, Marine Expeditionary Forces positions, and my last position was serving on the Joint Staff in the J-34, which is the Homeland Defense. Uh, Even though I did 30 years, my first 11 and a half were as active duty. Then, 91, I went into the reserves, stayed in the reserves until I got mobilized in 2002. Uh, Remained mobilized for essentially 5 years. And my last 3 years was as a reservist on the Joint Staff. I was the senior Marine reservist on the Joint Staff.
man, that's a nice resume. I heard also a rumor that you flew Big Fat Albert for a little bit. Is that true?
I did. I was fortunate to be selected to be one of the Fat Albert pilots. That was 3 years. That's a whole separate podcast.
Of course, yeah, of course.
I could, yeah, that's a whole separate podcast. But I did. Uh, and a quick funny story on that one, if you don't mind me interjecting there.
No, go ahead, man.
This is I can I can honestly say, and it's documented, uh, for Desert Shield, Desert Storm, I was the only Blue Angel pilot to actually fly combat missions. Because what happened was our season ends in November, and the season had just ended that Saturday. That Monday, I get a call from VMGR 234, the reserve squadron out of Chicago, who was flying a ton of missions, moving supplies, getting it in place to support operations over there. They called me up and said, "Hey, you're not doing anything. You want to come up here and augment us?" And I went, "Absolutely." So, I probably flew with them for a month. Uh, and I was coming back from Europe. I think it was Saudi Arabia. No, Saudi Arabia. And we landed in Chicago. And when I went upstairs, I checked in to see when the next flight was. And they told me that the squadron was getting mobilized and they would not need me for any more missions because now they're going to have too many pilots. So I said, all right, like any Marine, you don't want to be left out of a good fight. So I picked the phone up, called my monitor real quick, explained the situation. And he goes, hold on a minute. And he comes back in 2 or 3 minutes. He goes, you need to go buy a lottery ticket. I go, why? He says, because I'm holding a request for a replacement pilot to support VMGR 352 in country right now flying combat missions. Do you want the orders? And I said, yeah, let me think about it a minute. Yes. So, so the next thing I know, I'm going back to Pensacola, packing up all my trash. I have 6 days to report to Camp Lejeune to go through combat replacement pilot. And it was, I mean, I was current as a pilot. This was all ground stuff, getting refamiliarized with an M16, M45, um, escape and evasion techniques, all of that such, because it was about 10 days worth of stuff crammed in about 5 days. And the next thing I know, I find myself on an airplane flying over to Qatar, and we land, and it's a boatload of us. KC-130 guys, Cobra guys, Huey guys, 46 drivers, and we go to this one little camp. And the next thing I know, I'm picked up the next day, driven to where the squadron was flying out of. The next day, I was flying missions, and I stayed there through January, February, March, flying combat missions. And much like it started, the war had ended. I landed the airplane, was checking back into operations, and they said, "Hey, things are winding down. If you can find your way home, find your way home." So I found my way home on a C5 and an American Airlines flight also. That's another story. I won't bore everyone with the
Yeah.
details here, but it's a pretty good story. Ended up getting back to Pensacola, checking into Matzig, and they looked at me and said, "Where have you been?" And I handed them my orders, and they went, "What?" So I was TAD from the Blue Angels, flying combat missions in Desert Shield, Desert Storm.
Wow.
It was pretty cool.
Now, Colonel, for the viewers that obviously are here and don't have the knowledge of military terminology, can you briefly describe what a Fat Albert is to them?
Oh, Fat Albert is the nickname of the C-130 that is attached to the Naval Flight Demonstration Squadron, the Blue Angels. It was affectionately given that name back in the late 70s from the old cartoon show. "Hey, it's Fat Albert" was a cartoon on at the time, and he was a big dude. And it came the rumor is that the boss, the number one, this commanding officer of the Blue Angels, it was one of his kids saw it for the first time and made the comment, "Daddy, that's so big, it looks like Fat Albert." And that's how the name stuck.
That's how
And
the name
it's
started.
yeah, the name stuck, and it's an all-Marine crew. There's typically 3 pilots, and when I was flying it, there were 2 engineers, 1 navigator, 2 load masters, and now that they have transitioned to the KC-130J model, it's still 3 pilots, and it's 2 crew chiefs who / flight engineers, and then 2 load masters are on the team, but it's always an all-Marine crew.
Yeah, I remember seeing it in June. I was very lucky to sell ice cream and water at the Great Tennessee Air Show, and we made a little money for the 2 days that we were there, and that money went directly to the Ton Legacy Foundation, which is a very, very good segue now to why we actually want to talk to you, because you have a lot of hats. You are a board member for the Ton Legacy Foundation. You're also the president of the United States Marine Corps Reserve Association out of Virginia, but you live in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, and you do a fantastic job with that, by the way. Guys, I'm actually one of his board members at the USMCRA, but we want to get into the grittiness of this thing that you're doing. That something that our friend Pat Daly, started in 2021, and I think it's called the Ton Legacy Foundation. Uh, can you give us a little background on what that is?
It actually goes back further than 2021. Um, Pat Daly, the president and founder of the foundation, was actually, I think it's been 9 years ago now, was uh, at a bar in downtown Old Philly called Cookies. And he was there. He said it was a
Cookies.
cold, rainy night. They were toasting the Marine Corps birthday, and those that I personally never got up to Cookies. People tell me that did attend that it was something to behold. Uh,
I heard it was
People,
chaos.
it blocked off. I don't think they ever got a permit from the city to block the street, but it ended up blocking the street, and it would start around 4 in the afternoon, 1600 for all you military types, and it would go well after midnight. And he said he was there one night, and it was cold and wet, and there was 3,500 people there, and he said, "My God, I wonder how many people would show up if Ton Tavern was still here." That started him on his journey. Uh, he started doing research. He would not take. There's so many falsehoods out there, especially on Wikipedia, about the Ton. Uh, so he started from scratch, and he went back into all the old records because the Philadelphia Historical Society has done a marvelous job of maintaining records. So he found all the records of Joshua Carpenter, uh, Peg Mullins, uh, got, and that's where he discovered that the Ton, because he actually found the actual newspaper clipping that said Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania Freemasons on Tuesday, whatever date, there's a lodge meeting at the Ton. So the Ton, I think that was the first other organization he uh, discovered that actually has roots to the Ton. He approached the Pennsylvania Freemasons, presented his findings, presented his idea of rebuilding this historical landmark, and they jumped. They jumped on the bandwagon and said yes. As he proceeded and he found additional data, the Friendly Sons and Daughters of St. Patrick, the Society of St. George, the Society of St. Andrews, discovered that they also held meetings there at the Ton. He approached those same organizations and asked if they would like to be a part of this adventure we are on right now. And it's in his research, he did find documentation, uh, and actually the old Continental Congress found the minutes and notes from the meetings of where John Adams and the Second Continental Congress, the Naval Commission, actually met on the second deck inside the Ton and wrote the articles that today turned into the United States Navy. So
Hoo-yah.
that's why we have those six organizations are tied closely to what we're doing. And a little tidbit here: um, when during the same Second Continental Congress, when George Washington was approved by Congress to be the commander in chief of the Continental Army, once everyone said their yay, it and it's documented that the members of Congress took George Washington to the Ton for his dinner, his celebratory dinner that night. So you could stretch it and say, the Army has a little tie in there with the Ton.
And that's good because of that email that I sent you yesterday. Did you receive that email?
I saw it, but I haven't
Okay.
been on the computer much today.
It's dealing with another Army guy that I know, and hopefully, Jason, if you're listening, hopefully you see that email and you get a hold of Ken Hopper as soon as humanly possible. Um, that's great. I don't know. I'm just I love this idea. I love this organization, and I remember seeing this for the first time last year. And I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. Like we need to have the ton built. We need to have it built. We can't do anything just with a little marker underneath I-95. I mean, we need the building. And guys, this is what it's going to look like. Um, and Ken, you can back me up on this. The plans have been approved for this design, correct?
Everything has been approved. Um, we went through 18 months of architectural drawings. Um, and what's significant is the architectural firm does a lot of work in Qatar, Oman, skyscrapers in Philly, New York. But it just so happened that a fraternity brother of Pat's worked at this place. Pat told him about his idea, what they had. The owner of the company, okay, wanted to get a flavor, of what this Marine Corps is all about. So they drove down to Washington, D.C. 2 years ago now. Oh, it's been almost three. And observed. He attended the evening parade at 8 to 9. He came back that weekend. They had this meeting scheduled for Monday. And Pat will tell you that when he walked in and they started the meeting, the first words out of his mouth was, "We're doing this. This one's ours. It's going to happen." Because he understood the flavor, the mentality, and what this building would be, what it would mean, especially to Marines and the other 5 organizations also, what it would mean to have this place built. So it's been a long process of getting the drawings approved. It was 18 months to purchase the land. It took us 18 months to do that. Uh, and and when I say approved, we had to go in front of the Philadelphia Historical Society on 2 occasions, and on the second occasion, they gave us their blessing that these drawings were accurate and precise. I think we had to change some windows in the dormers a little bit, but other than that, they blessed off on all the designs. So the only thing we're lacking right now are the funds to build the building.
And that's the crux of our show tonight, is to talk about this new ingenious way of getting the funds. Because when it came out in April after Modern Day Marine, which you attended, I saw it. I think I was on vacation. I was in Panama City, or I was up north. I can't remember where I was, but I saw it on my phone. I was like, no way. And I immediately, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, boom, all right, I'm signing up for this. But can you go over what this push that you guys have been doing, and tell us how many members we have, um, and how less expensive it is to every other life membership out there in any other organization that is around.
Well, as everyone can imagine, uh, the original concept was to really build the tavern itself. Just what every Marine sees, you know, every Marine has a picture of what this place looks like in their head because they've seen the pencil drawing. Uh, and I hate to burst everyone's bubble out there, but the pencil drawing that everyone sees, and if you go to Wikipedia and you you know, type in, and the first picture you'll see is actually that picture, and it's a pencil drawing, was actually drawn 100 years after the original place was torn down. So that is someone's reckoning of what the place looked like. Um, so we originally was going to build just that tavern itself. However, uh, once we drew it up, did the design, we did in a business analysis, uh, and there was no way it was going to be, generate enough revenue for the place there. So we had to, because the actual bar inside by current uh, fire code can only hold about 80 to 90 people. That is it. And you're not going to make enough in Old Town Philadelphia for that. So Pat, in his research, actually discovered that before it was called, the tavern, before it was that, it was actually known as Peg Mullen's Beefsteak Club because, being good, loyal British subjects, beefsteak clubs in England were all the rage. So we went, well, what about if we add on a restaurant? So we have added a restaurant to the back of it, and it's called Peg Mullen's Beefsteak Club. That tied in with the actual tavern itself now will generate the revenue that we're looking to generate. Uh, so, from the time the first shovel is in the ground to the time it's open is 14 months. Okay. It's 14-month process. Is I don't know how many people listening or watching, uh, but Old Town Philadelphia is expensive, like way expensive. Uh, the land was more than what we thought it was going to be, and it didn't help that like 2 weeks before we closed the deal on the land, like they did another tax assessment and the property value went up. So it cost us more than what we thought. And if you go to the TUN, THETUN.org, that's our website, and you look at the top headers, you'll see donations. You can, or contribute. It's actually contribute. You select that, and you can select one of the 6 organizations. If you select Marine Corps, yes, you're going to see polo shirts for $250. You're going to see 16-ounce mugs for
$1,000.
$1,000. You can purchase a 32-ounce handmade copper tankard that is only made by the only female coppersmith in the entire United States. Um, and that price is $2,500. So, prices are up there because we're trying to raise funds to build the place. So probably in February, March timeframe, we're at a meeting, an executive team meeting, and Pat Daly said, I just got this idea, Marine Corps is turning 250, in 2025. Uh, it started in 1775. What about a 1775 club? And I looked at him. I said, "Well, let me do some figuring." So I got in touch with another Marine, a couple of other Marines, a graphic designer out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and then one of our board members on the Marine Corps Reserve Association. Uh, is his business is T-shirts, coins, and such. Uh, and the 3 of us put our heads together and uh, presented this proposal to Pat. Said, "Okay, what do you think?" So, in the short version of this, is you can pay $213 one time, one time, and you're a 1775 club member for life, for life. Or if you can't afford that, uh, because we wanted a means by which not just Marines, sailors, Freemasons, members of St. Patrick, St. Andrews, you know, we wanted a way that patriotic Americans could support the rebuilding of the ton. So $17.75 a month for 12 months, or $213 one time, and you're a lifetime member. And with that, you get, it's a pretty cool T-shirt. I got to tell you,
I
it's a
wore it yesterday when I was working out. So I was getting complimented on it at least by 5 people.
it, it's a pretty cool T-shirt. You get a really nice, you know, your first month's payment, you get the T-shirt sent to you. After the third month's payment, you get a frame certificate, and it's a really nice. It's not cheap paper, by any stretch of the imagination. Then after your 12th payment, you get your coin. Uh, the and people go, okay, a coin. Well, what's unique about this coin is that every coin is serialized. So in our computer system at the foundation, I was fortunate. Well, I also hedged the system because I'm the one running the program.
Of course.
Um, Coin number one is actually at, at the foundation, and that's going to be framed and that's going to be put in the little museum piece. Coin number two was the graphic designer that did it. Coin number three is Jeremy Williams. He's the one that actually produced the products for us. Um, I'm coin number 7. So every coin has a number on it, and you can be able to look once the place is built. You can look up and see who's got what coin number. So that's what's unique about the 1775 Club coin, and
That's
it
cool.
comes with a whole host of benefits that we'll get into later.
Wow. That's cool.
It is. It is.
And how many 1775 club members do we have so far?
As of midnight last night, we have 2,322 have enlisted into the club.
Man,
But but I need about 10 times that. Because for those that are listening and those that will view this later, uh, $213 one-time payment or $1,775 for 12 months is not that much. But according to the Department of VA, um, and you can look on there, and it breaks down how many Marines, sailors, airmen, soldiers that we have. And there's currently somewhere around 3.5 to 4 million people Americans that have earned the title of Marine. If 3% of those that earned the title Marine joined the 1775 Club, we could put our down payment down 3%, which is real close to 10 million. If only 5% of Marines, of those who earned that title, 5% joined, we could pay cash for the place. We could put down like 23 mil for the place. And that's all we're asking. That is all we're asking. You
and
know,
that's not that much. I mean, and that's cheaper than any life membership across the board. American Legion, VFW, VFW by at least $200, American Legion by at least $1,100, and Freemasons, that's a big one. That's $2,100 for life membership, depending on how old you are. But it sounds to me like being a 1775 club member, one, has its perks. Two, is an amazing steal of a deal to get. Is that what I'm hearing?
you heard correct, and I hope everyone listening to this, watching it, hears that also. Uh, it's $213. That is it.
So go, everybody, go THETUN.org. Go down to where it says in big
Oh,
letters. It says,
no, we've put it at the top now.
oh, it's not at the top. Never mind.
It's now at the top. As soon as you go to the tun.org, in the header, sliding header,
Belay my last, sir.
yes, it has the 1775 Club, and it also has a header up there for the birthday weekend.
Awesome. That's amazing. Henry, do you have any questions for the Colonel?
Yeah, I mean, compared to the other associations that are out there, what is going to make the 1775 Club, uh, let's just say, worth becoming a life member compared
Different?
compared to the BFW and all the other organizations out there?
Well, you two guys probably know. Uh, the word is getting out. I, I I also run the marketing for the foundation,
Of course you do.
and and I really thought the word was getting out. I mean, our social media platforms, the membership and those that are following us are increasing. We put a newsletter out a couple of times a month. All the social media platforms were being followed by some of the larger influencers in the Marine Corps now, and I really thought we were doing a good job. But I got an email this morning from an individual that says, I just found out that you guys are rebuilding the tavern. And it was one of those V8 moments. I couldn't believe it. But the difference is Marines want this to happen. Okay. We have been approached at least 4 times by major corporations that have said, hey, we will help you rebuild. We will help you rebuild, and you can put your name on it. But the problem with doing that is then it will not hold to our mission statement. And our mission statement is, to rebuild a historic Mariners Tavern, but with a philanthropic goal. Because once this place is up and operational, and each year the profits from the ton, we're giving all that money back to charity. No one's going to make a dime on this. And I would hope Marine, especially, well, any patriotic American, but especially Marines, would like to be able to say, reach in their pocket and pull out their 1775 coin and go, look, I helped build this place. I helped rebuild the ton. And that's the difference. I mean, it's going to be immediate. So Marines, the Marine side of the place is going to give money, Semper Fi Fund. We're going to give money to Toys for Tots, the Heritage Foundation. The Masons are going to give their funds probably to their hospital that they have, and they run a couple of retirement homes. The other 4 organizations are going to go give their money to their scholarship funds. So all the money is going to be put back into use. We're not starting anything else. And once we get the place up and running and built, our fundraising, well, let me preface it. Once it's paid off, once everything's paid off, okay, our fundraising stops. The only thing we're going to keep going is going to be the 1775 Club, because that is so inexpensive, and I can't see an American not wanting to be able to say, I helped rebuild that. I helped support the mission and the vision of the foundation. Uh, I'll give a couple of shameless plugs. Uh, once for the birthday weekend that's coming up, November 7th through 11th, those individuals attending, if you are a 1775 Club member, and I have the records, if you've bought a ticket for, let's just say, the 250th ball that's going to be held at the Museum of the American Revolution, you're going to have special seats, up close to to where events are going to take place. If you attend the dinner cruise on Sunday night, you're going to have special seating where Colonel Barney Barnum is our guest speaker. He's a Medal of Honor recipient. You're going to be up close. Once it's up and operational, what we're going to be doing is 75 club members will receive monthly updates on what's going on in the ton. You will get updates. You'll get invitations to those events. And if you're in the area, 1700 to 1800 every day that the ton will be open, you'll be able to get 75-cent beer, happy hour beer.
Woohoo.
But you're going to have to be able to show your coin.
Okay, hey, listen, guys. I mean, I don't drink anymore, but I mean, if I did, that's an amazing deal for beer. I'm sorry, it is.
And if you have your coin for the weekend for the 250th birthday at Centerpoint, on the site of where the tun's going to be rebuilt, there will be a 1775 club tent, and you'll be able to go inside the tent and get your $1 beer, vice what it's going to be outside the tent. So
Okay.
that's just another Benny. And we already know, that the place is going to have to put on a Marine Corps birthday party every year. We know that. So every Marine Corps birthday, you have to bring your coin and get your very discounted beer.
One question, Ken. When it's up and running, and everything's going fantastically, is it going to be open for reunions of different units, say Third Battalion, Eighth Marines, which
Well, it
myself and Henry were a part of? Could we do a reunion in Philadelphia in one of those rooms up there?
oh well, this if you could show the picture again, there, pile of it, the second floor, the second deck, those five windows. There's actually going to be there's two conference rooms that are going to be there. One's going to hold like 125 people, thereabouts. The other one is like 60 to 70 people. Uh, so there is that. Uh, then walking again outside on the second deck there. There's going to be the restaurant. Uh, there'll be first floor dining, and then depending on weather, there'll be outdoor seating area. So the total is a little over 300 people can eat at one time. Uh, it, you're not the first person that's asked that. Uh, we we actually received probably a month ago a request from a gunnery sergeant who was retiring in 2026, and he already wanted to schedule his retirement party at the time.
No way.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Who?
already
Wait.
wanted to
Who is
schedule.
he? Do we know?
No, no, no. He wanted to get his name in the hat. So we know the foundation knows that probably 6 months prior to opening, we're going to have to hire an events coordinator,
Of course, yeah.
start scheduling stuff. And we know that once we start digging, we can project, like I said, 14 months. And there's not a doubt in my mind, and not a doubt in any board member's mind, that the ticket to have will be to the grand opening of the ton. That would be like the ticket for any Marine. It'll be the hottest ticket
In
around.
town.
It'll be the second hottest ticket compared to being invited to the Commandant's Ball.
Which
We know
I've
that.
never been invited to the Commandant's Ball.
I never have either.
Sandman, have you been invited to the Commandant's Ball?
We don't, you know how that works. So, Colonel, what is the estimated cost that this project involves?
We like to say all in, to include contingency funds and such, is like 25 million.
$25 million.
Yeah. That's,
Wow.
So we've been blessed. We've been blessed. We've got some great sponsors, but not enough sponsors. And that's a whole nother podcast. I could easily let you guys talk to Matt Swindell, who is our vice president for fundraising, that I know he would love to get on and get the word out
Okay.
to you to help generate those necessary funds. So again, that's why the 1775 Club is so important. So for every 5,000 members, it generates approximately $1 million for the foundation for every 5,000. And we're all smart enough to do the math there.
So, essentially, you guys, this project will not take off until the $25 million.
Oh no, we're not
raised.
going to wait that long. That would take a long time. No, we want to
Yeah.
get enough funds in the bank for a construction loan, because the worst thing we could do is, start the project and then stop it because we don't have enough funds there to pay the workers. Uh, it's I've never attended any of the construction meetings, but Pat Daly obviously has attended every single one. Uh, and he said he tells the story of the subcontractors that are going to be working, and he said he's never seen a set of subcontractors so excited about wanting to get something started. He goes, they are chomping at the bit because everyone knows the impact it's going to have for not only Old Town Philadelphia to really start to modernize, to put a first class establishment in there, but for the city itself and the state of Pennsylvania, it's going to be huge. And we equate it to like the Mecca for the Marines. It will be it'll be on that level. There's not a doubt in our mind.
Do you guys have a team that's going to be handling the construction, like a construction manager?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
those guys have been lined up probably for 6 months, 7 months, easily. Yeah, that's
and
all in
that
place.
and that team. So to help us all understand a little bit, when are you guys projecting to break ground and start laying down the foundation, framing, all that good stuff?
Once I get the construction loan, which we would like to have, don't quote me on this, but we need to have close to double digit million, in the bank, because I mean everyone's smart enough to know that the less of the loan of that you have, the cheaper the payments are going to be when you have to start paying that back. So the more we can fundraise and build that bank account up, the less we actually have to borrow for the construction loan. So we won't start digging until we get that construction loan in place.
So,
It's
what are the requirements for that? What's the amount that we have to have before we jump into the
Uh,
construction loan?
Probably if you talk to, uh, mine is a lower number, but I know those others that would actually have to put their name, they would like to see $10 to $12 million in the bank,
Mhm.
which is close to half of what we would need before we get a construction loan. I'm I'm that individual on the foundation's board that firmly believes, because one of the items we're going to do is once the shovel goes into the ground, we're going to actually have a live camera. We're going to have a live feed, so you'll be able to watch the actual construction
That's
going
awesome.
on. So I'm of the idea it should be a lower number, uh, because once people actually start seeing it going up, they're going to go, oh hell yeah, I got to get a part of this, and more dollars will start coming in for sponsors.
Hmm.
And
That's an interesting point. I don't know how the construction world is out in Philadelphia, but a good idea will be to reach out to these huge marketing and construction companies
Oh, we
in
have.
the area to see if they want to be part of that.
Oh, we have, and they're lined up. Some of the subcontractors have actually become sponsors for the birthday weekend that we're holding 7 through 11 November. And if you're watching this and you want to be a part of it, go to that same address, the THETUN.org, and right at the top you'll see November 10 events. You can click on that and see the list of activities and the events that we have scheduled
uh,
going on
and
for
by
that
the way,
weekend.
Henry, I'm actually going to kidnap you and take you and drive you to this event on November 6th. Me and my 3-7 buddy, we're going to come over to North Carolina and then we're going to head all the way up to my timeshare so you can see this amazing thing and meet all these amazing people. Because you'll get coined by Major General James Livingston like I did last year. God bless him. And this guy, 2-star Medal of Honor. This guy had his like Medal of Honor like jacket on at the inaugural gala. I had my arm around him. He gave me a coin, and then he gave a speech the next day at the groundbreaking. in the city of Philadelphia. And I don't quote me on this, but I think this is he was like, let's get this expletive built. And and he's like 80 years old and he is still on top of his game. And I can't wait for you to meet him.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
'cause
great. We'll see.
General Livingston is attending. He's coming in Sunday. He'll be on board the dinner cruise. He will be there at the wreath laying at the first commandant's gravesite. I'll have him there for the block party for a couple of hours, and then I'll be getting him back to his hotel room uh, so he can rest up because him and his wife, Miss Sarah, will be there, and then he will be attending the Black Tie Gala at the site of the first Marine Corps Ball held by General Lejeune there at the Bellevue Hotel.
Which is sold out. Or are they still waiting list?
Oh, it's a wait list, but
Okay.
I wouldn't hold your breath on that one.
Yeah, I wanted to do the 500. I was like, you know what? I'm already pledging this amount of money. I'm gonna go to the American Revolution, the museum, and have that ball. And is that gonna be fun, Colonel?
Oh, there's not a doubt in my mind because uh, the Revolution Museum is going to remain open during the ball, so those in attendance will have free reign to walk through all the activities and the sites that are there. One of the coolest sites there is going to be there's a like 18-minute presentation that talks about George Washington and his battles, and the museum actually has his command tent
Whoa,
that he used during the Revolutionary War. So you'll be able to actually see that tent.
whoa,
Yeah,
that's
it's pretty
cool.
cool.
I mean,
It's pretty cool,
I saw his Masonic apron
right?
last year, and now I get to say, oh, I can't. Hey guys, go on the ton.org, sign up, 1775 Club. Um, uh,
It is the
I don't know. It's gonna be amazing.
it's. I'll tell a little inside story. I don't think Pat would mind me telling it
Oh, please do tell.
because the club's doing so well now. Um, but when this was going on, one of the first sites he actually gave a little briefing on the place was at Modern Day Marine in 2022. It was 2022 or 20. This is it was 2022, and and as he was winding it up, he showed and he talked about the prices of everything. You know, people were giving him grief. $1,000 for $250 for a polo. What do you think we're made of money? And Pat would look at him, and he'd be laughing, but he would go, "Look, this is a fundraising event. I can't build what I want to build on good looks and hopes and wishes." Uh, he
It's true.
goes, "What do you think? Do you think I can build this place by selling T-shirts?" Well, fast forward to now, with having 2,322 members of the 1775 Club, has generated. We're closing in on $500,000, essentially by selling T-shirts and coins, which is significant. Which is significant.
Speaking of that, have you decided on what? This is like nobody. You guys at home, Ken sent me some designs of T-shirts. Told me to get a feel. Have we gotten any closer on that?
Yes.
That thing. Okay, we have.
Once
Okay,
we're done here, I have to get online with our designer, and we'll make a couple of minor modifications. But then I'll put another shameless plug out
good,
there.
good.
This week on the ton.org website, you will be able to pre-order um, the 250th birthday T-shirts, and we will have 3 designs that you can pre-order. So it will be waiting for you, especially if you're coming to the events for the weekend, you'll be able to pick up your T-shirt. If you pre-order I'm here to tell everyone now that we will not begin mailings until after the birthday ball weekend. We will not be sending. I'd love for you to order the t-shirts, but we just don't have the bandwidth to actually be mailing those shirts. But you will get it. Um, we will also be you'll be able to pre-order your swag bag that we're going to have there, and you will be able to pick those up. We will announce a couple of locations where you'll be able to pick that bag up. Uh, and I'm here to tell you, this audience will be the first to hear this. Uh, we have, and we own the rights. We essentially the patent. Okay, we are going to have the ton replicas, and when I say limited number, there are only 1,000 of these, and we will have those on the website that you can pre-order. And if you come to the events for the weekend, you'll be able to pick yours up. Uh, if we have to mail it again, it will not be mailed until after the events for the birthday weekend, and each one is numbered. So there's
Oh,
number one. I will tell you. I'm sorry, the prototype number 0 is going to remain in the Ton museum that's going to be there, and that'll be between the Ton and Peg Mullins Beefsteak Club. We'll have a little museum in there, but number 1 through 1,000, and that's all we have. So be on the lookout. This week we will be getting that information on our website, and we'll go out with a big social media blast.
oh. I swear, I love your social media, Ken. You guys sent out something today, which I sent to everyone that I know. I put it on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, you name it. About Pat Daly's interview with What's Now Philadelphia. That occurred today, which was great. If you guys haven't read it, check out my site. Check out the Ton site. Um, um, Actually, and we're running short on time, but Colonel, do you have any saved rounds? And then I'm going to ask that to Henry, and then I'm going to shut this down.
The only saved round I have is not really a saved round, as it is just re-emphasizing joining the 1775 Club. $17.75 a month for 12 months, or a one-time payment of $213. And when you get your coin and you hear your fellow Marines, fellow sailors, Freemasons talk about this place, even a patriotic American, as I've said, you'll be able to reach in your pocket, pull your coin out, and show them, and go, look, I put skin in the game. So I am helping rebuild a part of American history, because there is so much history that occurred in that building. It's incredible.
Yep.
And as we get closer to it being opened for business, we have a campaign that we're going to be talking about all the history that actually occurred inside that building.
Awesome.
THE
That's
TUN.org, and at the very top it says 1775 Club. Click on it and join it.
that's awesome. Sandman, saved rounds, sir.
Nope, no, sir. We're good.
I just want to thank everybody for being here. Sandman, thank you. Without you, we wouldn't have a show. And I'd be talking to myself, or you'd be talking by yourself. It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Ken, Colonel, you are a great leader. You're a great president of the United States Marine Corps Reserve Association. You're a great board member. Thank you for making me a Ton militia commander a year ago. And I do have one thing. I will be out October 4th, this Saturday, for my last event. I have done 4 events so far to make money for the Ton. And I will be at the Vet Fest in Brentwood, Tennessee from 09 to 1600. And we will probably have about 3,500 to 4,000 people stopping by. And I will be awaiting my package from the Ton Legacy Foundation for more swag, for more pieces of 8, and for more one pagers like this to give out to all the people. But on behalf of myself and the Sandman, thank you so much, and y'all have a good night. All right.
Thanks very
You
much.
too,
I
man.
appreciate the opportunity.
Take care.
Take care. See you guys.
Bye.
See you.